the chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
You came here to help, Solas. I won't let them use that against you.
How would you stop them?
However I had to.
Thank you. But now let us hope either the mages or the templars have the power to seal the breach. Closing the breach is our primary goal, but I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Yes, I am. The Dalish are the best hope for preserving the culture of our people.
Our people. You use that phrase so casually. It should mean more. But the Dalish have forgotten that, among other things.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
Irabellis, Haren. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish. Irabellis, Dalin. If I can offer any understanding, you have but to ask.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits, others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely into the forests.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal, but Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Latharia.
Lavellan was the Empire, and Latharia its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Latharia?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish aerovels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
Is the magic they teach in the Circle different from the magic I learned with my people?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Devinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
To be honest, I don't see it as different from any other magic. It's a means to an end.
Indeed. The problem is that under the Chantry, blood magic is forbidden, so only criminals practice it. While in Tevinter, magisters compete with each other instead of keeping their volatile friends in check. They always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance to learn another way. What can I do for you?
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the Breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the Breach. That means it was created deliberately.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
Your Dalish say the demons hate the natural world, seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
Why?
You're an elven mage. Not from the Circle, not Dalish. You're an unknown element. If I'm to trust a self-taught apostate with my life, I need to know more about him.
I don't see myself as self-taught. But then, since I have not told you, you'd have no way of knowing that. All right. What can I tell you?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Indomitable focus?
Presumably. I have yet to see it dominated. I imagine that the sight would be fascinating.
You said you traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, a chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solas.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either. We'll talk later.
Goodbye. So the Templars will put their powers to use, sealing the breach. Any group corrupted by a demon must be watched carefully. At least they know how to fight.
I expected an apostate mage would hate Templars.
They have flaws, but I try to understand them. You cannot change anything without understanding.
You're a surprising person, Solas.
This campaign promises to be full of surprises. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again with the Templars. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
A word. The humans have not raised one of our people so high for ages beyond counting. Her faith is hard-won, Lavellan, worthy of pride, save one detail.
The threat Corypheus wields. The orb he carried. It is ours. Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. We must find out how he survived. And we must prepare for their reaction when they learn the orb is of our people.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
Such things were foci, set to channel power from our gods. Some were dedicated to specific members of our pantheon. All that remains are references in ruins, and faint visions of memory in the Fade, echoes of a dead empire. But however Corypheus came to it, the orb is elven, and with it, he threatens the heart of human faith.
Even if we defeat Corypheus, eventually they'll find a way to blame elves.
I suspect you are correct. It is unfortunate, but we must be above suspicion to be seen as valued allies. Faith in you is shaping this moment, but needs room to grow. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow. What can I do for you?
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself in your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
How long can it take to look at a mark on my hand?
A magical mark of unknown origin? Tied to a unique breach in the veil? Longer than you might think. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
Cassandra's like that with everyone.
Yes. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
Felt the whole world change?
A figure of speech.
I'm aware of the metaphor. I'm more interested in felt.
You change everything.
Sweet talker.
We shouldn't. It isn't right. Not even here.
What do you mean, even here?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Sleep well?
When I asked to talk to you, I didn't think we'd be doing it in the Fade. Or, for that matter, doing it in the Fade.
I apologize. The kiss was impulsive and ill-considered, and I should not have encouraged it.
You say that, but you're the one who started with tongue.
I did no such thing.
Oh, does it not count if it's only Fade tongue?
It has been a long time, and things have always been easier for me in the Fade. I am not certain this is the best idea. It could lead to trouble.
I'm willing to take that chance, if you are.
Maybe, yes. If I could take a little time to think. There are considerations.
Take all the time you need.
Thank you. I am not often thrown by things that happen in dreams, but I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhawk. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You're a mage. You studied the breach. And you seem to have some idea how a bastard like this might think.
I'm flattered. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believed the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. It spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Tevinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang a soldier's hymn to keep formation. The primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered, though their cause was all but hopeless. They sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. What can I do for you?
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found an ancient dwarven tide no longer sheltered by the stone. An earthquake had exposed it all to daylight. 1,000 dwarven corpses lay, the victims of a dark-spawn horde. Their last stand marked by one great ring of armor. In the middle, one small body, clutching tightly to a small stuffed toy.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
The Alamari crossed the Frostback Mountains to escape a beast they called the Shadow Goddess in their story. I met the spirit that they fled. She walks the Fade along the southern tundra, weeping lonely and forgotten. Great Ferelden formed because a lonely spirit drove her prey away.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a dwarf emerge into the light of day and shield his eyes against the sun. The first time he had seen it, the tears were streaming from his eyes. I thought them from the blazing light, until I saw the rock he held so tightly. Then he laid the rock down gently, and he left it as he walked away.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. Hello.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found in the Kokari wilds a humble cottage far removed from any of the simple, chastened tribesmen. The trees and weeds had not reclaimed the home, nor did the chastened dare to come and steal the trinkets still remaining. It was empty, long abandoned, but the world feared that she might return.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I found an ancient spirit who had once been undisputed king of almost every land I had discovered. Like pride or rage, it was the Fade's reflection of a feeling. When I asked which one it was, the spirit faltered. "They've forgotten," said the spirit. "There remains no word for what I was."
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a young Canary working in a simple kitchen, baking bread as she was ordered every morning. In every loaf, she broke the rules. She'd take a pinch of sugar and would fold it into the center, like a secret. And this act of small rebellion brought a shining smile across her face.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
You just have to ask.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
I'd be happy to help. What did these mages use to capture your friend? Blood magic?
A summoning circle, I would imagine.
I'm sorry?
My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
All right, let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map. My friend. Ah!
Solas, you said your friend was a wisdom spirit.
That is not its natural form. It's been corrupted!
Corrupted?
Forced to act against its original purpose. What did they do? What did they do? What did they do? Perhaps we should ask.
A mage! You're not with the bandits? Do you have any lyrium potions? Most of us are exhausted. We've been fighting that demon.
You summoned that demon! Except it was a spirit of wisdom at the time. You made it kill! You twisted it against its purpose!
I understand how it might be confusing to someone who has not studied demons, but after you help us, I can...
We are not here to help you.
Word of advice. I'd hold off on explaining how demons work to my friend here.
Listen to me. I was one of the foremost experts in the Kirkwall
Shut up. You summoned it to protect you from the bandits.
Yes.
You bound it to obedience, then commanded it to kill. That is when it turned. The summoning circle. We break it, we break the binding. No orders to kill, no conflict with its nature, no demon.
What? The binding is the only thing keeping the demon from killing us. Whatever it was before, it is a monster now.
Inquisitor, please!
I've studied rituals like this. I should be able to disrupt the binding quickly.
Thank you. We must hurry!
Tel Abalos en Asal Atalin. Mami Lavellan. Malasulidinadas. Magilani Midinan.
Manuvinen. Dareth Shara.
I heard what it said. It was right. You did help it.
Now, I must endure.
Let me know if I can help.
You already have. All that remains now is them.
Thank you. We would not have risked the summoning, but the roads are too dangerous to travel unprotected.
You tortured and killed my friend.
We didn't know it was just a spirit. The book said it could help us.
Damn them all. I need some time alone. I will meet you back at Skyhold. Inquisitor.
Guess I owe Varric an ale. I wasn't sure you were coming back.
Neither was I for a time. But only a short time. You were a true friend. You did everything you could to help. I could hardly abandon you now.
Where did you go?
I found a quiet spot and went to sleep. I visited the place in the Fade where my friend used to be. It's empty. But there are stirrings of energy in the void. Someday something new may grow there.
What happens when a spirit dies?
It isn't the same for mortals. The energy of spirits returns to the Fade. If the idea giving the spirit form is strong, or if the memory has shaped other spirits, it may someday rise again.
You're saying your friend might come back?
No, not really. A spirit's natural state is peaceful semi-existence. It is rare to be able to reflect reality. Something similar may reform one day, but it might have a different personality. It would likely not remember me. It would not be the friend I knew.
The next time you have to mourn, you don't need to be alone.
It's been so long since I could trust someone.
I know.
I'll work on it. And thank you. Inquisitor, Do you have a moment? What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
I don't believe so.
Ah.
Why do you ask?
You show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
What have I done that's so surprising?
You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected. If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them?
The Dalish didn't make me like this. The decisions were mine.
Yes, you are wise to give yourself that due. Although the Dalish, in their fashion, may still have guided you. Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world, but not you.
So what does this mean, Solas?
It means I have not forgotten the kiss.
Good. Don't go.
It would be kinder in the long run, but losing you would... Arlath Mavanan. I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
Do you have any interest in dancing?
A great deal. Although dancing with an elven apostate would win you few favors with the court. Perhaps once our business here is done.
I'll be back.
And well. I'm not surprised to find you out here. Thoughts?
We achieved all our goals. I'm enjoying the moment of peace while it lasts.
You should. They're fleeting enough. Hang on to them when you can. Come. Before the band stops playing, dance with me.
I'd love to.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Sharal, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You miss court intrigue? When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage, sometimes noble, and always fascinating. In any event, Gaspar should be a steadfast ally. Briala will keep him in check, and look after the elves.
I liked it. The Inquisition gets a valuable ally, and perhaps our people will get better treatment in Orlais.
Our people? Who are? Oh, you mean elves? I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Who do you have much in common with? Who are your people?
A good question. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Briala is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
You're an admirable man. Not many people know who they are the way you do.
Thank you. Both for saying that and for seeing that. Few in this world can see me, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. The Temple of Mythal was extraordinary. In all my journeys, I never dreamed of finding anything like it. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
The war proved that we can't go back to the way things were. I'll try to help this world move forward.
You would risk everything you have in the hope that the future is better. What if it isn't? What if you wake up to find the future you shaped is worse than what was?
I'll take a breath, see where things went wrong, and then try again.
Just like that.
If we don't keep trying, we'll never get it right.
You're right. Thank you.
For what?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You have offered hope. That if one keeps trying, even if the consequences are grave, that someday things will be better. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Whatever comes, I will have you by my side.
Come with me, Vanan. The veil is thin here. Can you feel it on your skin, tingling? I was trying to determine some way to show you what you mean to me.
That's not necessary, Solas. You're my...
That is the question, is it not? For now, the best gift I can offer is the truth. You are unique. In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade. You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined.
As you are to me.
Then what I must tell you, the truth. Your face. The Valasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean.
They honor the elven gods.
No. They are slave markings. Or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan.
My clan's keeper said they honored the gods. These are their symbols.
Yes, that's right. A noble would mark his slaves to honor the god he worshipped. After Alathan fell, the Dalish forgot.
So this is... what? Just one more thing the Dalish got wrong?
I'm sorry.
We try to preserve our culture, and this is what we keep? Relics of a time when we were no better than Tevinter.
Don't say that. For all they got wrong, the Dalish did one thing right. They made you. I didn't tell you this to hurt you. If you like, I know a spell. I can remove the Valasleen.
If what you're saying is true,
It is.
then my people vowed never to submit to slavery.
I'm so sorry for causing you pain. It was selfish of me. I look at you and I see what you truly are. And you deserve better than what those cruel marks represent.
Then cast your spell. Take the Valasleen away.
Sit. Alasa Malarevas. You are free. You are so beautiful. And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again.
Solas.
Please, Vanan.
I'm not giving up on you, Solas.
You truly should.
Whatever you need, we can find together.
No, we can't. You'll see. I'm sorry. Inquisitor, how may I help you prepare for our final battle?
I'd like to discuss what happened before, Solas.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be appropriate at this time. We must focus on what truly matters. Harden your heart to a cutting edge, and put that pain to good use against Corypheus.
It would help me if you could explain why.
The answers would only lead to more questions. An emotional entanglement that would benefit neither of us. The blame is mine, not yours. It was irresponsible and selfish of me. Let that be enough.
Will you talk to me when we have finished with Corypheus?
If we are both still alive afterward, then I promise you, everything will be made clear. Let me know if I can be of any more help in planning our final fight. Inquisitor.
I'd like to discuss what happened before, Solas.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be appropriate at this time. We must focus on what truly matters. Harden your heart to a cutting edge, and put that pain to good use against Corypheus.
It would help me if you could explain why.
The answers would only lead to more questions. An emotional entanglement that would benefit neither of us. The blame is mine, not yours. It was irresponsible and selfish of me. Let that be enough.
You really don't let anybody see under that polite mask you wear, do you?
You saw more than most. Let me know if I can be of any more help in planning our final fight. Inquisitor.
I'd like to discuss what happened before, Solas.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be appropriate at this time. We must focus on what truly matters. Harden your heart to a cutting edge, and put that pain to good use against Corypheus.
I don't know why I even tried to talk with you.
Because you were hurt. Because I made a selfish mistake. Because you deserve better. Pick any reason. Let me know if I can be of any more help in planning our final fight.
Solas?
The orb.
I know you wanted the orb saved. I'm so sorry.
It is not your fault.
There's more, isn't there?
It was not supposed to happen this way. No matter what comes, I want you to know that what we had was real.
Inquisitor, are you alive?
Victorious, I see. What a novel result. And it seems the breach is finally closed.
Looks that way.
What do we do now?
We go back to Skyhold. A moment, my lady. My agents have found no trace of Solas. He has simply vanished. If he does not wish to be found, there's likely nothing we can do. But I will keep looking. I just don't understand. He didn't even say goodbye. The two of you were close. Perhaps he had no choice. He might return at any moment. Maybe. Now that Corypheus has been defeated, we have a moment to stop and celebrate. Afterwards, you will be busy. Every noble in southern Thedas is clamoring to meet you. The fighting's over. Why do they want to meet me now? You're joking, yes? They wish to bask in the glory of your victory, hoping that some of it will rub off on them. Everyone knows Gaspard owes you a throne. The greatest empire in Thedas is at your beck and call. 1,000 problems remain, and your opinion will be sought on each one, whether you wish to give it or not. Oh, now they're lining up to meet me. Such is the way of things. Previously, you were an upstart,
a Dalish elf leading a band of rebels and heretics. Until Corypheus revealed himself, they could not see the single hand behind the chaos. Once he did, they knew. A magister and a darkspawn in one creature, the ultimate evil. Now you are the only power left standing. Enjoy the evening while you can, Inquisitor.
I knew you would come. You should not have given your orb to Corypheus, Red Wolf.
I was too weak to unlock it after my slumber. The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people... they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old friend.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Ben Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
The Inquisition has nothing to do with these agents.
Come, Inquisitor. I am the eyes and ears of the Qunari people. Do you think you can deceive me? You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solas, agent of Fen Harel.
What?
Solas wanted that orb. If the agents of Fen Harel gave it to Corypheus, he couldn't be one.
Or perhaps he was tasked with removing the evidence of his group's interference. Solas tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Anahayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solas will not outlive you.
That's why Solas left. He's been helping us fight the Qunari all this time. We have to save him.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solas.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari answered some of those questions. The information I found while traveling through the Alluvians answered more. You're Fen'Harel. You're the Dread Wolf.
Well done. I was Solas first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. And now you know. What is the old Dalish curse? May the Dread Wolf take you?
Maharel Lassa.
Only by omission.
Malassa Banau Gilana!
What would you have had me say? That I was the great adversary in your people's mythology?
I would have had you trust me!
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythol, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythol. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dathara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
The Evanurus were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Let me help you, Solas.
I cannot do that to you, Vernan.
But you would do it to yourself? I cannot bear to think of you alone.
I walk the Dinan Shiral. There is only death on this journey. I would not have you see what I become. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
So, at least some of the stories about the Dreadwolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you?
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
For whatever it's worth, thanks for the castle.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I will see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
You control the Illuvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
I know, Vernan. And we are running out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
Solas, Barlat Bir Suladin.
I wish it could, Vernan. My love.
never forget you.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solas knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.